Hello everyone and welcome to my Sister Wives Gossip. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Josh Duggar gets merciless smackdown by feds in court papers. Former Counting on Star and Scorned son Josh Duggar has gotten a merciless smackdown by the feds. Since he got locked up, things have not been easy by any means, but what is happening with him now? Keep reading for more details. When the Counting on family had to deal with Josh Duggar's scandals, it was rough and under a public microscope. The scrutiny was anything but easy, but they all maintained diplomacy and tried their hardest to make the family look as good as possible. Josh was sentenced to nearly 13 years behind bars due to receiving and possessing child sexual abuse material, CSAM. This has long been a hot topic, and it ultimately hit a head, but has progressively gotten worse. Josh has claimed that an ex-girlfriend was the cause of many of his problems, plus he is blaming TLC for making him expose fake problems. TLC aired the family's 2 reality shows, 19 Kids and Counting On. Now, it appears that things are only getting worse for the father of 7. Josh had allegedly mailed in legal paperwork, the court records show. They think that he had aid from a third party, and a slew of other allegations. After followers of the family saw the lengthy filing, many were happy that Josh was finally getting the punishment he deserved. They have felt he has gotten off too easily over the years for his bad behavior, and are over it. Other Counting On fans do not believe Josh Duggar will ever be completely clean of his crimes. Moreover, some think that he will return to his old ways upon his release. One follower shared this sentiment. After Counting On fans attempted to read this lengthy filing, they were even more displeased with Josh Duggar. They proceeded to call him out for all of his offenses, and essentially have nothing good to say about him. Finally, there was a lot of name-calling as well as stating that he is and would always be a liar. Some called out Josh Duggar's mother, Michelle, and her homeschooling, stating he has learned nothing. They also pointed out that Josh thinks he is some mega celebrity, which he is not by any means. Disgraced reality star Josh Duggar just got hit with what fans are calling a merciless smackdown from federal prosecutors, and it's making waves through the Duggar family's world once again. New court papers filed by the U.S. Attorney's Office don't hold back, painting Josh as a manipulative offender who continues to deflect blame, despite the mountain of evidence that led to his conviction. For years, the former 19 Kids and Counting star has been fighting to overturn his child sexual abuse material conviction, filing appeal after appeal in an effort to get his 12.5-year prison sentence reduced or tossed out entirely. But this time, the federal response was brutal, almost surgical in how it dismantled each of Josh's arguments line by line. According to insiders familiar with the filing, prosecutors used sharp, no-nonsense language that left no room for sympathy. The document, which spanned dozens of pages, reportedly described Josh's attempts to shift responsibility as disingenuous, unsupported, and meritless. One passage even accused him of weaponizing the appeal system to relitigate a case already proven beyond doubt. A harsh reality for a fallen star. Once touted as the wholesome eldest son of the Duggar family, an example of faith and purity, Josh Duggar has become a symbol of how far someone can fall. When he was arrested in 2021, the shock reverberated through the tight-knit Christian conservative community that once idolized his family. Now, this latest federal filing serves as yet another reality check. The justice system isn't buying his excuses. According to legal experts, the tone of the Fed's response was intentionally cutting. This wasn't just a procedural response, it was a statement, one source said. They wanted the court and the public to see that they're not tolerating manipulative tactics from someone who refuses to accept responsibility. Point by point, the feds fired back. Josh's legal team had argued that investigators violated his rights and mishandled digital evidence, claiming that the seized computer could have been accessed by others. But prosecutors weren't having it. They laid out meticulous details showing how Josh's password, personal browsing history, and distinctive device identifiers all tied directly to the illegal material. In one biting section, the feds wrote, "The defendant's narrative requires the court to believe in a series of improbable coincidences, all conveniently designed to absolve him of guilt." They even accused his defense of cherry-picking data and misrepresenting technical findings to create confusion. Legal analysts say it's one of the most forceful rebuttals seen in a federal response in recent memory. It's a merciless smackdown, one former federal prosecutor said after reviewing the filing. The government basically told him, "You're not special, you're guilty, and you're wasting everyone's time." The family's deafening silence. Inside the Duggar world, things have gone eerily quiet. Jim, Bob, and Michelle Duggar, who once fiercely defended their son, have stayed out of the spotlight lately. Insiders claim they're growing weary of the constant legal drama and the public backlash that reignites with every new filing. Meanwhile, Josh's wife Anna Duggar continues to stand by him, though sources close to the family suggest that her faith in his eventual freedom is beginning to crack. She reportedly visited him at the Seagoville Federal Correctional Institution just weeks ago, bringing along a few of their 7 children. But witnesses described her demeanor as tired, pale, and emotionally drained. "Anna has always believed God would vindicate Josh," a source said softly. "But this latest blow, it's different. It's like she's starting to realize the truth is never going to change." The feds send a message. Beyond Josh himself, many believe the government's tone carries a larger message, especially given the public scrutiny surrounding celebrity defendants and post-conviction appeals. The filing reminds the court that Josh's crimes were not mere technical violations, but serious offenses involving real child victims. In one particularly scathing paragraph, prosecutors wrote that Duggar's actions represent the exact kind of calculated exploitation the law was designed to punish. They added that his unwillingness to accept responsibility only underscores his continued danger to society. It's a chilling assessment, and one that underscores just how far Josh's reputation has fallen from his days as a Duggar golden boy on TLC. Fans react, "He's done." Across social media, the Duggar faithful and critics alike had strong reactions to the news. On Reddit and Duggar-themed fan pages, users dissected every line of the government's filing. Some said the harsh language was long overdue, while others pointed out how unusual it was for federal prosecutors to respond with such passion. One commenter wrote, "This wasn't just legal, this was personal. They're done playing games with him." Another added, "Josh thought he could outsmart the system. But the feds just handed him a legal beatdown he won't recover from." Where things go from here? Josh Duggar's next steps are limited. His appeal has already been denied by the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals, and this latest filing was part of his ongoing attempt to get a rehearing or a reduced sentence through technicalities. But after this smackdown, legal experts say the chances of that happening are close to zero. If his current motions are rejected, as most expect, they could mark the end of his road in the federal court system. After that, his only option would be to petition the U.S. Supreme Court, a long shot by any standard. A cautionary tale. For a man once groomed to be a political figure and Christian leader, Josh Duggar's legacy is now a cautionary tale about hypocrisy, power, and downfall. The court papers make it painfully clear. The government has no sympathy for his excuses, and the justice system is determined to ensure he stays behind bars for the full term of his sentence. What makes this latest development even more striking is the contrast between Josh's defiance and the quiet resilience of his siblings, many of whom have moved on with their lives. Jinger Duggar Vuolo, in particular, has spoken publicly about distancing herself from her brother's crimes, emphasizing that accountability is essential, even when it hurts. The final word. The federal filing ends with a powerful line that legal analysts say encapsulates the government's stance perfectly. Justice was served when this defendant was convicted. His continued refusal to accept responsibility only reaffirms the necessity of that outcome. For Josh Duggar, those words might sting worse than any prison sentence. They're not just a legal rejection, they're a moral one too. As one fan bluntly summed it up online, Josh got exactly what he deserved, a merciless smackdown from the people who finally saw through his lies.